In the trip to Berchtesgaden, we got to go up to Hitler's mountain lookout called the Eagle's Nest. It had a wonderful view of the Alps, of course. The Germans were proud of the engineering they did to build the road to the Eagle's Nest and the tunnel straight up 600 feet through the mountain so the elevator could get to the Eagle's Nest. It deviated out of line only a half inch, if I remember right. Not being an engineer, I don't know whether that's good or bad. I'm sure it's pretty good, though. The local town at the base of the mountain where the Eagle's Nest was provided quarters for the entourage and for the SS guards of Hitler. To be an SS, you had to be 6 feet tall. We had a cup of coffee or tea at the tea house. There are people in Austria and Germany who would have liked to tear the tea house down, but it was such a marvelous place to be, even though Hitler had it created, that it was saved in spite of the efforts to tear it down. It is illegal in Austria and Germany to say anything good about Hitler, even if he did like kids. We walked up the mountain a ways and had our pictures taken at the base of the cross, about 100 yards up the trail. Historian David Irving said Hitler never contracted out of the Catholic Church, and he also only went to this tea house a couple times. In May, I was to be sent back to be discharged. First, I was sent to Marburg by truck, I think. While being processed at Marburg, the German kids would collect our leftovers. Hunger was still rampant in Germany. The Allies were still punishing Germany for losing the war. On the ground, 4 Germans had been killed late in the war, and even a year afterwards, the graves were still undisturbed, and the helmets were still there. I am hazy now about the exact events of how I was sent to Bremerhaven. It is now 4 hours on the train to get there, so we probably went by train. I assume the pictures of us at the trains in these pictures must have been at Marburg. I have no idea which prison camp the Germans in the pictures came from. At this time, some things that happened is a total blank. When we got to Bremerhaven, where did we stay? Did we go directly to the ship? All these years I've had the impression the pictures of us on the train was at Bremerhaven. One of the pictures seemed to have been taken from a train, so if we went on the train directly to the ship or to the camp. In any case, I am sure the pictures of the harbor at Bremerhaven were taken from a train. The trip over on the MacAndrew was uneventful. The MacAndrew was as crowded as the Queen Elizabeth I went over on, except there was not a lot of gambling. I don't remember where we docked, whether it was New York or somewhere in New Jersey, even though we were taken to Fort Dix, which is in New Jersey. After processing at Fort Dix, we were put on a train and sent to Fort Lewis for discharge. 2 years to the day, I was a civilian again. The only thing I remember about this trip was the nearer we got to Seattle, the guys started throwing out their liquor bottles. That was funny. Most of them were just young kids anyway.